We're breaking down what I am calling the perfect offseason for the Tennessee Titans on today's show. Some choose your own adventure stuff, so there's, multiple options you could potentially pursue. We'll break that down in a second. We are rapidly approaching 10,000 subscribers here on Titans Today, and another drama-filled, important offseason for Tennessee. Hit that sub button for more coverage. But let's go 10-step plan here. Number one, this one's kind of obvious. Figure out what the heck your front office is going to be. Is Chad Brinker in charge? Are you hiring a GM to be in charge? What's really going on after you extended Rand Carthon last year and then fired him less than a year later? I really don't understand what the thought process is, what the plan is right now for Tennessee. It feels very, very messy. So figure it out. Whatever that ends up looking like, cool. Let's stick with a plan and not change something drastic every offseason. Now, you do have to change something drastic this offseason, not from a front office perspective, from the quarterback perspective. You have to figure this out. This is probably the most important thing for your organization. Seems like you're going to stick with Brian Callahan. Cool. He gets to pick his quarterback. You should give him time. I don't want to do this constant shuffling of new GM, new head coach, new quarterback, new GM, new head coach. That's not, I need organizational cohesion. That starts the head coach relationships with the QB. So, Cam Ward is first up here. There's again, multiple options you can definitely consider pursuing. Cam Ward is one of them. He's the gunslinger. He is will buy time in the pocket, execute stuff. He is the creator of an offense at the quarterback spot. There's some downsides there, and he'll make some bad decisions, but he'll create stuff. Shedeur Sanders is the executor. Ball supposed to go there. That ball will be out quickly in most cases. He does hold the ball too long, but he's not nearly as turnover-worthy play guy as Cam Ward has been over the course of his career. The ceiling's probably a little bit more limited, and you can absolutely make an argument that neither of these guys are true first-round grades. Now, teams will have some first-round grades mixed in there, but this is not a Drake May. This is not a Caleb Williams. This is not a Jaden Daniels. This is probably more of a Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy type of grades on these two quarterbacks. So you can look outside of the number one overall pick at a QB if you want to. Sam Darnold is, boy, that'd be dicey to me. And I also don't know if Minnesota's going to let him or J.J. McCarthy go. Those are maybe you can talk me into viable options there. But the alternatives are you just don't take a quarterback and you're kind of then just setting up Brian Callahan to be fired next year in that scenario, which is really weird to me. And you're going to go with I don't know, Carson. Well, Carson's terrible. Marcus Mariota looked better in that game, which is kind of funny to mention at all. Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers. That's just not going to work. So the big question, you got to decide it before the offseason begins. Are you taking a quarterback at number one overall? D for draft, P for pass. Let me know at the pinned comment of today's show. Step number 3, let's create some more salary cap space. Because if you're drafting a quarterback early or not, if you're paying somebody, you want more cap space to build around them, right? Good news, Tennessee. They currently have $61 million in salary cap space. And that is what they currently have. They're not paying a quarterback at the moment. They can restructure or extend a variety of players. And I would rather extend Harold Landry. I don't want to have a gaping hole at the edge spot. I think that's a bad process. I think he's a very good football player. I'll keep him. Now I have a bunch of other guys I got to pay, by the way, of my current free agents. It's kind of a thin group. I want to bring back Sebastian just today. It's kind of it. Or not it, but it's the big guy. Harold Landry, Jeffrey Simmons, Calvin Ridley, L'Jarius Sneed. If those guys are part of your plans this year, I subscribe to the theory of you're going to pay them that money anyway. Let's not count it on the salary cap right now. That creates over $100 million to spend in free agency. You can add some more talent to this team and set yourself up for more success in 2025. Number 4, fix the offensive line. Look, I think this is a key element for the Titans. I think we all know it, right? I am going to throw money at a starting offensive lineman, and I'll probably draft one in round 2 because I don't really have a lot of viable options there. I do trust Bill Callahan to get this stuff figured out. It's not a great free agency class, but this is the route I'm going to pursue. I don't know if Trey Smith hits free agency. It's fine. Maybe Ronnie Stanley's an option. Maybe Callahan thinks that Jedrick Wills can fix things. Patrick McCarry could be a viable short-term answer on the right side of the offensive line. There's a decent amount of guards like James Daniels or Will Fries that you could pursue as well to give you like a stopgap option and right guard and develop somebody else behind them and have better play than what you had this past year. And you hope you get somebody in round 2. I think my preference would be to sign a tackle. That's a McCarry. You could gamble with the Mekhi Becton process. Maybe Jedrick Wills is an option for you. Maybe you can get Ronnie Stanley. But I think Wyatt Millum, Tyler Booker, Jonas Avanaia are prime candidates to play guard for you on the right side in round 2. I don't think Cam Williams gets to you, but I'd be all over that in the second round. And Graziel was a good player, but he also went to North Dakota State, and I know that that's an issue for some of you guys with trauma. So that's how it goes. Now, today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. It's playoff time, not for Tennessee, but for everybody else out there, and college football playoff time as well. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks. It is the best place to win cash while watching the postseason. Download the Prize Picks app today over at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play that first $5 lineup. This is my college football Prize Picks slate. I think if Jeremiah Smith were draft eligible, we might be talking about Tennessee should take him number 1 overall. He's a true freshman. I'm going the more than receiving yards there. Quinn Ewers, less than passing yards. I don't want him in Tennessee. I think that's a bad idea. Travion Henderson, more than rushing yards as well. Download the Prize Picks app today. Again, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Step 5, I'm going to add another wide receiver. I believe in Calvin Ridley. I'm going to keep him. I don't know if I have anything else there. You can bring back NWI. He's not a number 2. Touchdown Merchant, cool, awesome. He's not a number 2 receiver. In a dream scenario, I get T. Higgins from Cincinnati. Something tells me they're not going to let him walk, given some of their other wide receiver issues and the fact that they don't have many guys to pay beyond him. So I'll call about Amari Cooper. I'll call about Chris Godwin. I'll call about Marquise Brown. I'll call about Stephon Diggs. I would love to spend a second-round pick and a third-round pick on my receiver and offensive line. I only have one of those 2 things. So barring a trade down, I'm going to go sign another wide receiver. These are some of the bigger names, but I got money. I'll throw it around and add another player to help out my new young QB. Number 6, I would like to secure another pass rusher. No disrespect intended towards Arden Key, but I do think there's a decent crop of intriguing players who I think can help boost my pass rush. And if I bring back Sebastian Joseph Day, now I've got, I think, a really promising defensive front that was playing really well until the season got out of hand late. There's a lot of guys. Hassan Reddick, if you want to gamble on that one. DeMarcus Lawrence might be a cheap option coming off the injury. He's a good run stopper, too. Matthew Judon's going to be a veteran free agent. Buy low guys. Malcolm Kuntz was playing really well before he got hurt. Baron Browning, I think, could fit really well as like a third pass rusher with Arden Key if you want to keep him still. Chase Young might get a decent amount of money. There are pass rushers in free agency. I am down to add another one there. So name a free agent who you would like to sign. Plenty of names. Maybe T. Higgins is a popular one. Let me know in the comments of today's show. Number 7, I am going to cut Kenneth Murray, and I'm going to figure out my linebacker room beyond that. Jack Gibbons played pretty well coming off the injury. Cedric Ray played like 48 snaps, so I don't love that. The Titans save $7.5 million if they cut Kenneth Murray. He kind of has been who he's been throughout the course of his NFL career. I would like to go add somebody else. Now, I was going to push hard for Dre Greenlaw with the Rand Carthon connection. Oops. Zach Bond played really well for Philadelphia. I think Nick Bolton is a good football player. Not a great pass coverage guy, but a great run stopper. Levante David, I doubt, leaves Tampa. You could also do an awesome thing and just bring back Ernest Jones and do what the Yankees did years ago with Aroldis Chapman, where they traded for him or traded him to the Cubs and then brought him back the same offseason. Like, just do that. I love that idea, frankly. All right, number 8. I do want to add another safety. I'm not sure what Quandre Diggs' future looks like. I don't want to play a lot of Mike Brown if I can avoid it. Again, I can have plenty of cap space to spend. And, maybe Javon Holland's too much to pair alongside Amani Hooker. That's fine. We can revisit the Justin Simmons conversation. You could add a Cam Bynum with the Minnesota Vikings, who's been really fun with his celebrations and also has had a good year, too. I think Justin Reed is an undervalued football player, too. Talanoa Hufanga. There are safeties you can find. Again, with my limited draft capital, I am going to spend some money in free agency. Now, what is your confidence level right now? Maybe I should have made this 0 to 10. In the Titans regime, let me know. 1 to 10 is your scale. Number 9, I'm going to fill out the depth with some more moves. Guys, like I want to, this is probably more re-signings. Like I want to bring back, maybe you bring back Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. You can. I do want to bring back Sebastian Joseph Day. I just want to have, my goal on a consistent basis is to fill out my roster so that I can approach best player available in the NFL draft. Now, I think for Tennessee, as part of step 10, that's probably on day 3. I think, assuming you go quarterback in round 1, probably want to go offensive line in round 2. Then you got a nice long wait until your next pick. It's day 3. I don't love the day 3 draft class. I think that's where NIL and the COVID years have impacted the draft, where the talent crop isn't as deep as it's been necessarily in years past. This is where I just want to go best player available. And whether it's offense, defense, whatever, find guys that can contribute. I want you guys to grade the Titans off-season plan. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's video.